Okay, so we're going to talk about the core concepts of social studies. The first one is we need to know the 5 themes of geography. So, the 5 themes are location, which is where a place is. And there's 2 types. There's absolute location, which is the exact position of whatever you're studying, or the relative location, which is its location relative to another place. So, if we talk about my classroom, its exact position would be, if you go in the front door, up the hallway to the left, and then the first door on the right is my room. Relative location would be where I am related to another place. So I'm across the hall from the 8th grade. That's my relative location. The second theme is place, which is a mix of human and non-human features at a location. So place, you would be a part of the place of my classroom, because you are a human feature. Non-human features would be like the desks, or my desk, the smartboard, or the window. The third theme is region, which is basically an area with a common feature. So our school could be a region because we have the common features of we have classrooms. Fourth theme is movement, okay? How people or goods and ideas get from one place to another. And this depends on what it is. You can get it from trade, you can get it from migration, you can get it from word of mouth. And the last theme is the human environment interaction. So how people affect the environment. Okay? Pretty simple. So the first core concept we want to talk about is government. And government is a group of people who have the power to make and enforce laws for a country or area. And the purpose of a government is to keep order in that country or area. And there are 2 ways that governments can work. They can be limited governments, which are where their actions are limited by the laws, a lot like ours, or unlimited governments, which there are no limits on government actions. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a second. So there are 3 basic types of government. There's democracy, which is our government, where the citizens hold the power. And that's often limited because citizens have the power to restrict the government and restrict their decisions. A monarchy is basically a state ruled by a monarch, it's a king or a queen, and it can be limited or unlimited. There are examples of both in the world. England would be a limited monarchy. Unlimited would be Norway. Yeah. Or there's an authoritarian, where all power is held by one person. And this is always unlimited. So, second core concept is economies. And there are 4 types of economic systems. We have the traditional, where the people make economic decisions based on customs and habits. We don't see this much anymore. This is from like ancient history. So the Indians would be a traditional economy. Ancient China would have a different type of economy. They wouldn't have a traditional economy, actually, now that I think about it. The old Aztecs would have their own traditional economy. Olmecs would have their own traditional economy. We're going to talk about those later. Another type is a market economy, where the individual consumers and producers make the decisions. You basically have the economic freedom to do whatever they want. Then there's a command economy, where the central government makes all the decisions. So one person, the government, or a group of people will make all the decisions for the economy. And then there's a mix, which combines the traditional, the command, and the market. America is a mixed economy. It's close almost to a market economy, but there are some examples of all 3 in our economy. You're going to need to know that for class. Another concept is trade. So trade is the exchange of goods and services in a market. And there are 2 types. There are imports and there are exports. Imports are anything brought into a country. Exports are anything made in that country and sent back out. Then we have culture. Culture is the beliefs, customs, and behaviors of a particular group of people. So examples are food and clothing. We have these things called culture regions as well. So people can share religions or language. Sometimes they only have one, like in France. France has 2 very distinct culture regions. Canada has many different ones. America has many different ones. And we have religion. Religion is a system of worship and belief. And the ones we're going to study in this class this year are Judaism, Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, Sikhism, and there are some traditional religions that we're going to take a look at. Each one has their own system of beliefs. Each one has their own unique properties. The last thing we want to talk about is called cultural diffusion, and that's how cultural traits spread. So, cultural diffusion is the spread of cultural traits from one culture to another. How do they spread? They can spread through trade. They can spread through exploration of new areas. They can spread by migrants, so anyone that immigrates from somewhere else. Or they can spread through technology. And basically, all this leads to is diversity, or cultural variety. We live in a very diverse world. We live in a very diverse country. And that's it.